everybody, Elizabeth here with Country Peony. Thank you so much to Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint for having me. Thank you so much for being here. So my name's Elizabeth with Country Peony, and Country Peony is a DIY and craft blog that focuses on simple and inexpensive DIY projects. So today I've got a really fun craft for you. It's incredibly simple, and it is in honor of Teacher Appreciation Week. So if you're here, I'd love for you to give me a wave. I'd love to see. And we are going to be making these adorable teacher apple pots. And the cool thing about these is you can fill them with whatever candy or gifts or toys you have for your teacher. And you can even add fun messages to the inside of them as well. And so what we're going to get started is actually the very first thing that we do is we are going to create the leaf for these. And so what we're going to do is what you need, the tools that you need are you need a fabric, and then you also need some stiffen stuff to create your leaf. And then you're going to need some scissors and to create your leaf, and then these adorable terracotta pots. So I purchased mine at Walmart for $1 each, and the base of the terracotta pot makes an amazing lid that goes on top of it. And then what you're going to do is to make your leaf and to make your spool or your stem. I have a lot of vintage spools laying around because I love to go thrifting, and so I thought that would be a really fun accent piece for your stem. Or you don't have to spend any money, and I was kind of going on my morning walk and I noticed these really charming nubby limbs, and you can use that as your stem as well. Okay, so now that I've walked through the tools, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the leaf, because the leaf, if you do it the way that I do, it takes a while to dry. So for today's leaf, we are making this really charming fabric leaf, but you can even use felt, or you can use cardboard. You can basically use whatever you have on hand. But I have this really charming green fabric, and I thought that would be a sweet addition to your wreath. Okay, so first off, we're going to need to stiffen the fabric. And so to do this, Beacon makes this really cool product, Stiffen Stuff, but you can use whatever you have on hand. You can use a starch, you can make your own starch, but we're going to use Stiffen Stuff to make this leaf. And so I'm just going to show you a small portion today how to do this. And so we're going to cut a small piece out, and then I can just show you how to stiffen your fabric. So you're going to stiffen the fabric first, and then you're going to make a leaf out of it. Okay? And so for those of you who are just joining us, we're making this adorable teacher's gift out of terracotta pots. Okay, so you're going to spray the fabric all the way, and you're just going to continue to spray it so that you coat the entire piece. And sometimes it gets clogged, so you might have to clean it off a little bit. But you're just going to continue to spray that fabric until it gets all the way covered. And then you're going to want that to dry. Honestly, I would give it about 2 hours to dry completely, maybe more. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut it into a leaf. I created a template so that I could make my leaves. But you're gonna, so what I did is once it was dry, I used this leaf template and I attached it, I traced it onto the fabric, and then I have these adorable leaves that kind of stand up on their own. So that's the really simple way to make the leaf. It's great because you can use fabric that you already have on hand. But again, hello Chris. But again, you can use whatever, felt, paper, cardboard, whatever you want. And so again, this is what we're making today. We're making this charming apple pot using terracotta pots. And so once you have your fabric, once it's drying, then you can start painting. Okay? And so from here, we are going to use Tricycle because Tricycle Red to me is just gorgeous and it looks like an apple. And so that's the color that we're going to use today, but you could really use whatever color you want or any kind of red that you have. And so we are going to, for most of my projects, I start off small. I normally do 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons because a little bit goes a long way. And this is another project that you can use if you finished a furniture piece and you have some paint, just a little bit of paint left over. This could be a perfect project for that. Okay, so I'm just going to do, for today's purposes, I'm just going to do 2 tablespoons, just so I make sure I have enough. And 2 tablespoons of the milk paint to 2 tablespoons of water. Okay, and then you're just going to mix until it's fully integrated. And again, you can use leftover paint from a furniture project for this. I love this project because it is very simple and it does not cost a lot of money. I mentioned that the terracotta pots were only $1 for the top of it and the base. And so for $2 plus some paint and some fun accessories, you can have a really charming homemade teacher gift. So now we're going to mix the paint, and Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint just came out with a really cool product. It's called Milkies, and what it is, it's a milk mix ease, and it allows, sometimes, I don't know if you've noticed, but when you're mixing your milk paint, sometimes it gets foamy, and it is hard for you to mix it all the way through, or it just takes a while. And so they've got this amazing product that you just kind of put 1 drop in there, and then it'll allow for it to mix really, really well together. Especially some of the colors that have a little bit more pigments, just like the Tricycle, which is a little bit harder to mix just because it's got all these gorgeous pigments in there to create this stunning, vibrant red. But I love this new product. It's really fun. Okay, so we're just going to keep mixing that until it's fully integrated. And this is a really sweet one, as I was saying, because you can put whatever you want inside the gift. I think it'd be really sweet to have your children maybe draw some pictures or to write a note about why they love their teacher. Handmade gifts, I think, are the best. And this is a piece that I think your teacher or your children's teacher would love to have on their desk year-round. Okay, so I'm going to keep mixing. And this also, it's up to you, but you don't have to use a full, you don't have to do, you can do 1 or 2 coats. For mine, honestly, I only did 1 coat, and there is no prep work that's involved in this, which is beautiful. And like most of Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint, when you're working with it, you just have fun, and it doesn't really matter. You know, as long as you're having fun. That's my motto. Okay, so I've got a beautiful texture here, beautiful consistency. Okay, and so then we're just going to apply even, thin brush strokes all the way down the terracotta pot. The terracotta takes so well to this paint. Really, it's such a simple project. You can even have your children painting this. And since Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint is non-toxic, I think that's a beautiful thing to do. So you're going to paint around the entire pot on the outside and make sure you get all those fun grooves and corners so that you have one even coverage. And I started with the fabric leaf first because this paint does not take long to dry on this material, on the terracotta pot. And so it's starting to dry already. Isn't that amazing? It's amazing. Okay, so you're just going to continue to paint the terracotta pot until you have full coverage. And I recommend, since this is a something that you're going to gift and you put items in it, I recommend painting the inside. So you're just going to do some thin brush strokes, one coat on the inside as well, all the way around until you fully cover the terracotta pot. So you get the idea of how to paint that. And then you're just going to do the same thing to the base, which is actually the top of the apple. So when I was researching this project, I was amazed at how well this fits on top to look like an apple. I thought that was the cutest thing ever. And I'm never going to look at the base of a terracotta pot again the same. Okay, so for the terracotta pot top, you're going to paint both sides as well. Until you cover the entire thing completely. Okay. Okay, so that gets you an idea. So this is one coat. You can choose to do another coat. I probably would do another coat on the outside at least. You don't have to do one coat on the inside. I'm sorry, just one coat on the inside should be fine. But I would recommend 2 coats on the outside, or that's what I did for my final one. And so from here, I'm going to show you how to finish the apple. Again, this is such a simple project. This is something your children can actually do, especially since Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint is non-toxic. This is a really fun project to get them involved in. Okay, so now that you've painted it, we are going to add the finishing touches. So it's up to you. I did not add any details, or I didn't add any waxes or anything to the top of this, but I could see how that could be really fun. You could add Miss Mustard Seeds Milk Paint, their dark wax, or even their white wax could be really fun to add some dimension to this. I really like the raw look and the patina that this gives without any wax on top. So I just kept it plain, but it's really up to you and what you want to do. Okay. So now that you've sprayed your fabric and you made it stiff, you're going to cut it out. And like I said, I just created a simple template of a leaf, and then you could just cut out a whole bunch of leaves and you can then go from there. So we're just going to attach the leaf with some craft glue, something I recommend that works well with fabric and obviously on ceramic. But just something simple like that should be fine. Okay, so we're going to take the top of the terracotta pot and we're going to find the center, and we're just going to directly glue the leaf onto the terracotta pot. As you can see here, so simple. You can even do more than one leaf. You can put one on each side. You don't even have to do a leaf, but I think that adds a fun texture to it. And again, I chose a green that has some really sweet florals in it. I thought that gave it a fun farmhouse kind of handmade feel. But you can use felt, you could use cardboard, you could use paper, you could paint the paper, paint the cardboard. It's really up to you and what you have laying around. So now for the stem, I mentioned that I had a whole bunch of these adorable vintage spools laying around. I love the color of these. I love the vintage appeal of them, and I think it's a fun twist to a stem. But you don't have to spend a whole lot of money on this project, like I mentioned earlier. You can just use some cute nubby limbs that you find outside. That would be a really sweet touch as well. Okay, so we're just going to directly, because I'm going to keep the labels on here, I'm not going to paint this because, like I said, I think that itself is beautiful. So I'm going to glue this spool right on top of the leaf in the center with the same craft glue. You can even use hot glue, just making sure that it is secure because you're going to be using the stem as a handle. So there you have it, a really, really sweet and cute handle and leaf for your terracotta teacher's gift. And then from here, you can choose to do whatever you want with it. I had mentioned I thought it'd be really sweet for your children to write sweet messages to their teacher. They could even do some fun drawings. You can put some gift cards in there. If you're a teacher, I'd love to hear what you think. And for mine, I found these adorable tea towels. I love the color of them, and I just thought they'd be really sweet, so I wrapped them inside here, and I'll probably add some candy and some fun messages in there as well. But see how simple and cute that is, and then you can gift this to your teacher. I think you could also embellish it with their name or just something that you know that they like. That could be really fun. And then this could be a sweet item that they have on their desk, and they can store their own things in there. So I think this is perfect for Teacher Appreciation Week, which is happening now. But it's also just a sweet gift I think you can give year-round. So I had so much fun working with you today with Miss Mustard Seed's Milk Paint. Thank you so much for having me. As a recap, we use Miss Mustard Seed's Milk Paint in Tricycle to get that stunning red and that stunning patina on the pot. Honestly, you could add a wax, but I love this look. And so we used the milk paint, and then to make the mixing a little bit easier so it didn't foam, we used Milk Mix Ease by Miss Mustard Seed's Milk Paint, which is a really fun, great new product. And then to create the leaves, I stiffened some fabric with the starch product, some stiffened stuff, and then I added a really sweet spool to act as the stem. So if you missed any of today's DIY tutorial, do not worry. Miss Mustard Seed's Milk Paint will have the full tutorial of this next week on their blog, so you can check out their blog post there. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a great time, and I hope you enjoy crafting and have a beautiful weekend. My name's Elizabeth with Country Peony, and thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon.